Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, fuck everybody, just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason, though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, fuck everybody, just do your thing.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Yesterday, President Donald J. Trump's Truth Social post about bombing 3 nuclear plants in Iran. He's not done yet and had a tough message for Iran or anyone like Iran. Take a listen.
A short time ago, the U.S. military carried out massive precision strikes on the 3 key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime: Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. Everybody heard those names for years as they built this horribly destructive enterprise. Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. Tonight I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace. If they do not, future attacks will be far greater and a lot easier. For 40 years, Iran has been saying death to America, death to Israel. That was their specialty. We lost over 1,000 people, and hundreds of thousands throughout the Middle East and around the world have died as a direct result of their hate. In particular, so many were killed by their general, Qasem Soleimani. I decided a long time ago that I would not let this happen. It will not continue. I want to thank and congratulate Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu, and we've gone a long way to erasing this horrible threat to Israel. And most importantly, I want to congratulate the great American patriots who flew those magnificent machines tonight, and all of the United States military on an operation the likes of which the world has not seen in many, many decades.
We know the evil from Iran hates our way of life and civilianship around the country. They want total chaos, they want total control, and they want total dictatorship over me and you. Iran hates America and wants us off the face of the earth. We have to do whatever is necessary. Iran does not like unity. Iran does not like free thought. Iran wants total dictatorship. I've been reporting on the Middle East conflict and the decisions President Donald Trump is making. I agree with them. I hear some of the highly respected people that I grew up with saying some horrible things like Candace Owen that doesn't know her ass from her elbow, excuse my language, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, we were just celebrating the ceasefire and this peace deal that was just etched and signed by Iran as well as Israel. And now I'm learning that Israel broke that ceasefire. I'm very concerned as to what is going on. It sounds like President Donald J. Trump is angry at both sides at this moment. I can't blame him. It's a lot of hard work. He put our American people's lives in danger to attack those nuclear sites in an effort to benefit us as well as other parts of the world, right? Iran is a threat to more than just America. And then for Israel to foolishly violate this peace treaty by our president, that our president utilized military assets, i.e. putting American lives in danger to help them out, for them to violate the ceasefire. And now he says both sides, Iran and Israel, has violated the ceasefire. We are not happy right now. We risked a lot to help Israel, and Israel needs to step to the plate and honor their commitments. Let me know what your thoughts are. Guys, we have major information right now about Lilly and Jack's disappearance prior to their disappearance, and it's going to blow your mind. I've been covering the case of Lilly Sullivan, 6 years old, and Jack Sullivan, 4 years old, that disappeared together from their trailer on Gairloch Road in Lansdowne Station, Nova Scotia, Canada. This is a bombshell information because we have been trying to find out what was going on. But typically in our cases, there's always the Department of Children and Family Services, usually circling about prior to this child disappearing. We never found that in this case until recently. We have just learned that these children and the Department of Children and Family Services was involved in their family searching their house to make sure it's suitable for these children prior to their disappearance. Now, if this does not resemble wholeheartedly Summerwell's case, I don't know what does. This is very concerning for me. This should be very concerning for you. And now we're dealing with 2 children missing. People have been asking law enforcement for what happened. What were the purposes of them being out of the home? What are the findings of those cases? And law enforcement said during this active investigation, it would be inappropriate for them to release these details. I'm sorry. I want to know what the heck happened. Where are these children, and why does it appear Malehya's on the run? Mom, Wendy Decker, just spoke at her 3 babies memorial. I will warn you, it is heartbreaking. It's hard not to cry. I have watched this several times, and it's very, very emotional.
I just have a short something to share. Good evening. I thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. You all look beautiful, and I know that Evie would have loved to ooh and ah over all of your outfits. She would have been amazed by all the color out there and just thought you guys look fantastic. You know that Peyton would have sought each and every one of you out to try to find something to give you a compliment for. She did that for everyone, whether it was in the grocery store or at school or with me, always telling me, "Oh, you look so beautiful, Mom. I love your earrings," or whatever it was that she could find. I wanted to share a means of connection the girls and I had that I think allowed them to have such warm and open hearts to the community around them. After my divorce, there were a lot of feelings flowing through my house. As you could imagine, me going through a divorce with 3 small, tiny women. Some of the feelings were easier to talk about than others. Through the girls' time with Children's Home Society and some incredible therapists, we discovered the 3 feelings. At night, during their bedtime routine, I would ask them what 3 feelings they felt during that day. No feeling too big or too small, and what was going on when they felt those feelings. For Peyton, she always had more than 3, consistently eager to tell me about every minute of her day. She was always interrupting her sisters to make sure I knew every single one. For Ev, we would talk about her feelings one-on-one, right at bedtime, because she wasn't always ready to share them with her sisters. And for Olivia, we were still working on how to describe all of her feelings, but beyond a shadow of a doubt, one was always happy. Even when I tried to avoid telling my feelings, which is so easy to do as an adult, I feel like, the girls, one of them would always say, "Wait, Mom, you didn't tell me what yours were," and make sure that I too would tell them what my 3 feelings were. I'm so thankful for the time that I had with the girls, and how the 3 feelings allowed us to connect when the world slowed down, and it really gave me an inside look into their day. I believe doing this with them allowed them to come into the world with open hearts and kindness. I hope that you are all able to do some version of the 3 feelings with your loved ones. Thank you everyone for being here tonight and the outpouring of love that you have shown me and my family over the past few weeks. I truly hope that the legacy of the girls' lives lives in everyone's heart forever. They were incredible.
Please don't forget to say a prayer for Wendy Decker, the mother of these 3 beautiful angels, and the emotional wreck she must be with her ex-husband on the loose and not knowing when this will end. God bless each and every one of you. More breaking news on text messages between Malehya Brooks-Murray and the biological grandmother of Lilly and Jack Sullivan, Belinda Gray. Belinda Gray, the grandmother to Lilly and Jack Sullivan, just released more text messages she's had with Malehya. Just recently, Belinda Gray did an interview with a local media station there in Nova Scotia. What she described is some information about the history of these children and their biological father, Cody. Cody has ultimately been cleared from this investigation as he's had nothing to do with his own children for about 3 years. I will be honest with you, that has enraged a lot of people across this country, wanting to know why he would not have anything to do with his children. She shares these texts, and I gotta say, they're very suspicious. According to these text messages between Belinda Gray and Malehya Brooks-Murray, the children's biological mother, she's stating that Daniel's behavior is very suspicious, and he seems to be more focused on the public and their assessment of him or what they believe he may have done than he is anything else. He has been told by law enforcement to stay away from media, however, he is constantly in the media spotlight. She goes on to state that she believes that he may be involved and further implies that she's run away because of him. It makes you wonder with all the new allegations that have been coming out of Nova Scotia from weird people stating that the siblings were loaded up into a car by Malehya just doesn't seem to be holding water. And why is somebody trying to misinform and disinform the public? And why is this alleged uncle doing so much to interject himself into this case to run interference? To me, it sounds like somebody's running interference and it's coming from Daniel's side of the tracks. Let me know what your thoughts are. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Bullhorn Betty channel. issues. Oh no. Dad, burn it! The one thing Betty's low on is stinking batteries and AAA. Good gracious. We're gonna have to commandeer batteries. We're gonna have to commandeer batteries. Good happy Tuesday to my beautiful people here on the ether, on the YT. As our boy Matt would say, I'm Bullhorn Betty. We cover true crime. We've got a lot to cover this morning, folks. We got a lot to cover. But before we do, who is that? Do I see somebody sneaking in? Do I see somebody? I saw somebody. Well, hello there. Hello. Good day to you, sir. I hope you are having the best day you could have today. That's what I hope you're having. The best day you can have. So it's nice to see everybody. We just said hello to one beautiful soul up in the chat. Now we just got to get to everybody else. And of course, there we go. Got to get this thing. Why is this thing not? Okay, we're going to have cooperation some way, somehow, this beautiful Tuesday morning, because nothing's getting in Bullhorn Betty's way this morning. We've got a lot to cover. If you guys haven't been over to the TikTok, the TT, okay, I guess we got the book face. That's what Stephanie calls it over on TikTok, the book face. We got the YT. That's what Matt calls it. And then we got the TikTok, which is what Hong calls it. And I've kind of coined TikTok. I like the TikTok. So if you haven't been over on the TikTok, you're going to want to get on over there because all of those videos that you guys just seen were not published over here on YouTube. Those were published over there on TikTok. We've got 3 channels over on TikTok. We got Bullhorn Betty 2.0. And if you're kind of like me and like my politics, we even have Betty for president. Okay. And that's where our commander-in-chief was speaking. And I dropped those videos and just dropped another one this morning. But you don't have to worry about rushing over there because I made sure I included this morning's drop in our intro. And since the music was so high, guys, thank you very much for letting me know. I was blowing my own eardrums out this morning. So what had happened was, I'm like, I cannot disappear this long from my audience and not have something to present them. And I'm thinking, well, I've been on the TikTok. Let's just put all those things together. But the problem is I have to strip the music from TikTok because YouTube, the YT and TikTok, they don't like each other. All right, the hip hop music on TikTok and the hip hop music on the YT, they're like the East Coast and West Coast dueling, y'all. And so we can't use the same music, so I have to strip it down. And what happens is it makes the audio come down. And I forget to enhance the audio when I put my music behind it. And so I adjusted my music. I'm used to using that particular, so I know where it needs to be adjusted to have, flow. So one of 2 things happened this morning. I accidentally hit the back button, which undid my audio adjustment, or my audio was just down too low on the videos because I stripped the audio behind those videos to just get my voice. Either way, that's what happened. Good morning. It's nice to see you. Melody is the first one to say hi to Bullhorn Betty in chat. And look what the cat drug in. Is that a your blues? Is that a your blues? It is. Oh, well, good morning, Eeyore. It's nice to see you this beautiful morning. Followed by Phil, our family from across the pond. It's nice to see you. Groovy Gal is up in the house. Good morning. TD Dean, Detective Whiskers. Good morning, guys. I hope you're doing well. Followed by Little Orange Man, Amy M. It's nice to see you. Our beautiful Tammy Crimes is up in the house. Kathleen, it's nice to see you. Good morning. We got the real Me Too and Big Mac Mike. Do I have dun dun dun? Ha. Well, damn it. Nope, that's not it either. Nope, that's not it either. I don't think I got it. What? Well, there you have it. I'm going to give you a point. I can't find the button to push for you, Big Mac Mike, but it's nice to see you. It's nice to see you. If you guys don't know who Big Mac Mike is, when we have like the dueling of sides, Big Mac Mike is the personal Bullhorn Betty channel defense attorney. Okay, so The most skeptical of the family is Big Mac Mike. So Big Mac Mike gives us like the polar opposite. Sometimes we're on the same page, but always play the other card, which is good, right? Donna, it's nice to see you. Carla, good morning. Daniel, it's nice to see you. Bluegrass Meadows, good morning, love. Mama up in the house. Shirley, good morning. It's nice to see you. VA, Oma, Kimberly, good morning. Pussy Willow Pendercat, Andrea, I did get your message. I did want to let everybody know, that I did not send the email out. I was absolutely going to send the email out, and I looked at my email and I had like 500 emails in it, and I'm like, maybe tomorrow. Okay, I'm not going to lie to my audience. This is the way it was. I looked at all the emails. Okay, I got a lot of emails. I need to go through them, and I'm getting further and further behind. I promise you I'll get caught up on the emails, probably over the next day or two, okay? So I realized I was a little aggressive on the time of getting the email out, because I realized I have to hunt for your guys' emails. So I will get that out. Just if you didn't receive an email from me last night or this morning, please don't freak out. I just didn't do the work, okay? It's my fault, not yours. It is nice to see you, Pussy Willow Pendercat. It's Mally Cat's up in the house. Hey, 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 hey. West Virginia, holla girl. Sharon, Mona, it's nice to see you, love. From Finlandia. I think it sounds like it'd be near Finland, so hopefully I'm right. I missed history when I was. You know what's the weirdest thing about me? It's nice to see you, Maria. You know what the weirdest thing about me is that I love history today. I love history today, but when I was younger, I could have A's, B's, and C's, but you know what I would have in history? A D or an F. I hated history. It was so boring. But boy, what a pickle did I get myself into. I went from a free education to a self-education. You know why? Because I chose to be smart. I chose to be a smart ass instead of a wise ass. Narita, it's nice to see you. Good morning. Good morning. Our beautiful Pebbles is up in the house. It's nice to see you. I know Betty fans out there in the ether somewhere, so we want to call her out and give her big hug and loves too, along with Emma. I know Emma watches from the sidelines. Nice to see you, La Bug. I always forget to say hi. I blanket them with don't forget to tell all the mods, thank you and everything like that. But, sometimes it's just nice to. Our beautiful Sonia's making a better recovery. She's not quite ready to go, cut the rug, but she's getting back together. She's our newly bionic woman, so she is now part of the bionic squad. Me and you, it's nice to see you. Frank, Shauna, hey, 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 hey. Shauna reminding us, everybody, to remember that it is Michael Monkey Vaughn's birthday today. If you guys don't know who Michael Monkey Vaughn is, he didn't quite make the cut this morning. And I didn't realize it was his birthday because I haven't paid attention to the case this morning, but I did go over it and I saw that there hadn't been any new news on his case since January of 2025. And so I was going to bring him up and I'm like, what am I going to talk about in this case? Because there's nothing good to report. It sounds like everybody knows what happened. It sounds like poor Michael Monkey Vaughn went through something his poor little body should have never went through. And the assholes that did it to him are still out there free. And I don't understand how we don't have a state attorney that's willing to pick it up. And I'm praying to God that it's not a situation that we have in Tennessee where they're just too broke to take the case to trial. And I don't know what's going on with him, but my heart has always been with Brandy Neal and Tyler, and of course their baby. Michael has a sister. She hasn't seen her brother. How messed up is she going to be because of all of this? And he was just a happy boy that just wanted to play, and they were in a safe area. Except for these monsters. These monsters that clearly, at least the wife half, Sarah, her parents obviously coddled her, gave her a place to live, all this other nonsense. Didn't hold their own daughter accountable, and look where we are. Look where we are. I'm not even going to go into Stacy because I don't know much about him. I don't know much about Brandon. I don't know much about Adrian. I know Adrian's a piece of garbage. I know Brandon is disgusting. But I don't know much about Stacy, and it's just a sad day because I didn't realize it was his birthday today, and that's my fault, right? But what a sad case. What a sad case. So let's not forget to think of Michael Monkey Vaughn and pray that his case is finally going to see the light in a courtroom, because it sounds like we already know who did what. It's just bringing him to trial. Why? Why haven't they been brought to trial yet? Are they going to wait until Brandy's gone before her son gets justice? Or are they going to allow her to see justice before something happens to her? I'd like to know, because I think that woman deserves to see justice. If she's as sick as she is, she deserves to see justice before her, before she moves on to a different, anyways. I don't want to get too upset over it. So, anyways, getting back on track. Thank you guys for all being here. And I saw thank you, Amy M, 2 months member, technical difficulties today. Love everyone. I get it. And look what we got here. Melanie gifted a Bullhorn Betty membership. Oh, here we go. If you're the recipient of this Bullhorn Betty membership, please don't forget to tell Melanie thank you for the gifted membership. And welcome to this crazy family we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. Grab your straitjacket in your padded room and welcome aboard. And this one here doesn't seem to have a battery problem. Maybe I need to no, I'm not going to commandeer the batteries out of this one. No, I don't want to do the cricket. But it's the one we don't really use as much. Maybe for today? Ooh, I got that one. That one we hardly ever use.
That's what she said! That's what she said. That's what she said.
We'll commandeer them from this one. Bada bing, bada boom. That's the one we don't use very often. But we do use it. But if I push the button once every blue moon, the difference between the dueling between the Energizer battery and the Duracell. The battery in this one, I'd say the Duracells are better. We're gonna go with Duracell. Duracell being the better battery. Why? Because I opened the one button where it stopped working and it's got Energizer batteries. Then I pushed the button on the other, or opened up the other one, and it's got Duracell. So I'm just gonna say the Duracell is the winner chicken dinner for this one. Let's see if we got our buttons back. Oh, did I put the batteries in wrong? Is my button bad? Ooh, it better not be a bad button. That's what I thought. You don't want to mess with the bets. We got our button back, baby. I just need to get some AAA batteries. Okay. All right. Should this one not go here? There we go. All right. So we'll put that one aside for now. We'll have to get some new batteries. But thank you. Now we got our stuff back. Good morning, my beautiful people. Hello, everyone. I'm Bullhorn Betty, and we cover true crime. And we got our buttons to push now. We got our buttons back to push. Libby, it's nice to see you. Peggy, good morning. Good morning, me and you. Who else did it? Frank, did I say good morning to you? Sadie, it's nice to see you, my love. I hope you're doing well. Connie, good morning. It's me being me, Mr. Seth. It's nice to see you. D. Real, Passion Flower, Rosemary. Mally Cat, it's nice to see you. Donna, Kimberly, I think I said hi. Gigi, Joni, it's nice to see you. Who else? Where else are we? Karen, it's nice to see you. I think I said Leslie. Hello. The uncle could be charged with aiding and abetting. It's just weird. We're going to get into that once we get into that segment. I'm going to star you because I think we're going to. I'll circle back to you, Leslie. I'm going to circle back to you because you're right. So there's just something that doesn't sit right with me. Pete, it's nice to see you. Denise, good morning, love. SRK, good morning. Good morning. Our SIO officer, SI officer, it's nice to see you. Pete and Adrian, it's nice to see you. I can't remember if I said hi to you, Pete. I think I did. Dixie, good morning. BMW Coupe, it's nice to see you. Love. Oh, guys, give me just a second. I forgot I had my repair guy coming. All right, guys, give me just one more quick second. I'm trying to find a bread tie because he's got to clean the carburetor. So I just found it. So let me go give this to him and I'll be right back with you guys. Thanks for being patient. All right, I am back. All right, guys, we're going to kick the show off. We're going to start it now that we're 40 minutes into the show, but I have to get my equipment. I'm trying to get the yard cleaned up. I've got some, limbs and stuff, and I have a chipper. So it hasn't been in use in years, and I've been dragging all this crap to the front yard, and I'm sick of dragging it when I got a chipper right there, So I called the repair guy to come fix my frickin' chipper. So I have a chipper. There you go. All right, guys. The first thing we're going to get off, as you guys know, we've been covering a lot of these stories from across the country. These stories matter not just because they're in the headlines, but because they're real cases. They're real people. We try to tell the stories. These stories matter, By covering such a wide range, from inspiring rescues in Florida to heartbreaking mysteries like the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers and, quite frankly, the Sullivan siblings, Lilly and Jack. So if you guys haven't already gotten your coffee, not the proper English. If you guys still haven't got coffee or a snack, you probably want to go out and get that because we're going to be here for a while. We're already in almost an hour into the show now. We haven't even gotten started, and we've got a lot to go over. From Operation Dragon Eye, which is the Florida's rescue of critically missing children, which is what you guys see right here on the side of the show. This is a news conference about it, but this isn't the most recent one because I didn't want to bring the most recent one up. This was reported 4 days ago, but at the 4 days ago time frame, we only had 20 kids. That has now ballooned to over 60 children found in the state of Florida. Now, state of Florida is not a perfect state. This is the state where I come from. I work very hard, along with a lot of beautiful activists and advocates around this state, to make it the great state that it is. But, we always have room to do better. Always. Because let's face it, right? Until this operation, we weren't doing such a great job. Because if we were, there wouldn't have been 60 children to be found, right? Now, these children, I just want to clarify. Thank you, Ruby Gal. Thank you. God bless you. I want to make sure you guys understand that these are our runaway children. These are the stories we don't hear about too much. These are the stories that don't take the news cases, the news line. In some of these cases, they weren't. They were given away. Some of these cases are really bad. Some of these cases are, no matter how you look at it, all of it is really, really bad. Groovy Gal just gifted a Bullhorn Betty, not just a bull. How did I miss all these? Good gracious. Look at that. Pamela, thank you for the super chat. $20. I don't know how I missed you. I'm so sorry, Pamela. Good gracious. Thank you for the $20 super chat. Kim, God bless you. Missed you too. Don't know how. Good morning, Betty. BHB, pray these precious children are found soon. Amen to that. Amen to that. And Groovy Gal gifted 5 Bullhorn Betty memberships. If you received your Bullhorn Betty membership, don't forget to tell Groovy Gal thank you. And for the 5 beautiful people that received these gifted Bullhorn Betty memberships, welcome to this crazy family we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. Grab your straight jacket and your padded robe and welcome aboard. It is a crazy, crazy ride. So let's dive into this one. This one was 4 days ago, and then we'll dive into the newest one because it's no longer 20 kids. We've got over 60 children that have been found during this operation headed by our U.S. Marshals. So it took a lot of great people to get where we are today. Yes, I did not talk about this. I know everybody sent this and was expecting me, but I wanted to get more results from it. I knew it was an ongoing investigation. And so since it's not a case that we cover too much, I wanted to make sure we had a good story to run.
Children are now safe following an operation this week by the National Child Protection Task Force.
This group specializes in finding endangered missing children in human trafficking operations. Caleb Yager joins us here on the morning show. And Caleb, unfortunately, the task force tracks down predators at an alarming rate. The problem is really bigger than people realize.
Yes, so the Child Crime and Safety Center says nearly 500,000 online predators are active online every day. And according to the FBI, over 50% of the victims of online sexual exploitation are between the ages of just 12 and 15. That's what the task force was fighting this week, which was supported by the Tim Tebow Foundation and hosted at Operation Lightshine's Intercept Task Force office, making it the first coordinated deployment to Florida. The mission of the Missing Child Rescue Operation wasn't just about finding missing kids. It's also about providing essential resources to help prevent them from becoming victims of human trafficking and other forms of exploitation. Now, check this Facebook post.
So before we finish that one up, I want to run over to the newest update on the operation. And this kind of goes through, where is it? Is it this guy that I want to hear? Yeah, I think it's this guy. That guy is just thinking, everybody. Hold on. I think it starts with this guy here.
Thank you, General. And I know children are a priority with you. My name is Bill Berger, B-E-R-G-E-R, United States Marshal, Middle District of Florida. And I am overwhelmed by the results of this operation. Operation Dragonfly, the largest in the history of the United States Marshal Service, if not the history of the United States. As the AG mentioned.
Largest in our history so far. That's sad. Okay? And I'm grateful. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying here. I'm not being ungrateful. I'm very, very grateful. But this is the largest in 2025. We've known about this issue being a problem for years. Why now? You know, I'm very thankful. Now, we do have a lot of powerful voices in the state of Florida that are, demanding, answers for our children. I recommend everybody finding people in their community to do the same thing, okay? Because it does take a lot of work. It does take a lot. But I will tell you, it's still sad that we're having the largest operation like this in our history in 2025, when this has been a problem going on and persisting well beyond normal limits for decades. And so I'm very thankful. Please don't misunderstand my gratefulness. I'm very, very grateful. I'm just very sad that it's taken till now for people to understand what we've all been fighting for so long. But at least they're listening. And we have to remember that. At least they're listening.
60 juveniles recovered in 2 weeks, ranging from age 9 to 17 years of age. Several years ago, Atlanta had a similar operation, which resulted in the recovery of 30 children over 6 weeks. This effort was a collaboration of, as the AG mentioned, 20 agencies with over 100 people involved.
20 agencies. You know what? This is where I want my tax-paying money to go. I don't know about you, but this is where I personally would like to see more of our hard-earned money being deployed. This was effective, and this was a success. And you know what? Unfortunately, it cost the taxpayers a lot of stinking money, okay? It cost us, not just the Florida taxpayers, all of us, because the feds, the U.S. Marshals is feds. That's Fed money, okay? That's Fed money. But if I'm paying taxes, this is where I'd like my taxes to go. Okay? Things like this, keeping our children safe, keeping our streets safe. This is what our government was really designed for, right here. Okay? Right here.
I want to thank the AG for providing the statewide special prosecutors. I want to say special thanks to Sheriffs Chronister, Golteri, and Naco, FDLE, of course, our police chiefs, my friends, Lee Burkall and Tony Holloway, Hillsborough County State Attorney, Susie Lopez, who many will be speaking in the very near future. It should be noted that Tampa Mayor Jane Castor and former Mayor Bob Buckhorn also visited the command post and spoke to our team, emphasizing the importance of this operation. We put together this operation emphasizing recoveries, but I can tell you I stressed arrest, because experience tells us if the offenders are not apprehended, they will reconnect with these children. They are, in my opinion, leeches. Behind me, you will see the pictures of 8 persons who were arrested and charged with crimes ranging from human trafficking, child endangerment, drug possession, and trafficking. When arrested, they were given bonds ranging from no bond to 200.
I want you guys to see this. They've got blurred faces out, and they're blurred faces of children. You can see them. They're of all different nationalities and ethnicities. And you've got at least 2 women here. One that's just a sketch, and that could be just a sketch of a person. And that could be because that is a somebody that's going to be turning state's evidence, and they're keeping them out of that. So the rest of them are men. These are not people that I would want dictating to me, but it's the woman on the very end, this lady right here. That's the one that has me the most concerned, because she's the one that looks the most normal. She would be, in my opinion, the one that attracts people in, right? Because she's got that friendly, warm face. She doesn't seem like she should be wrapped up in all of this. The other people, in all fairness, it doesn't surprise me. I look at their photos, and them being caught up or arrested doesn't surprise me. But it's that woman right there that looks a lot different than everybody that's being displayed on this screen. So I'm interested. We know that this is just one effort in the state of Florida. Can you imagine what will happen if we deployed this in all 50 states? We could bring hundreds of children home, hundreds. Why hasn't our federal government done this yet across this country? So we still have work. And I do believe that it is coming. I believe that our messages, our calls to our federal government are finally being heard out there in the ether. I do believe that across this country, they have been making a lot of sweeping changes protecting our children, because that's just a line in the sand that many Americans will not cross. Our children have to be protected. The most vulnerable of our country have to be protected. And for the rest of us, we understand that.
And $50 million bond. I've never heard of that before.
50 million, yes.
Finally, it is important to give credit where credit is due. The one person who was tasked with setting up this operation and universally has been recognized by all people involved is Deputy U.S. Marshal Mario Price. Mario will make himself available after this conference. Thank you very much.
So you guys got a little insight on the great work we are working with our federal partners to do the great work here in this state of Florida. I pray to God that we have strong people in all states that can help initiate something like this across their state. Obviously, it's very effective, right? These are the missing and vulnerable cases that don't reach mainstream media. These are the cases. These are the runaways. Okay. Runaways, they think they're grown, and they get out there and they get sucked into this life, and they're too young to know what to do. They don't know how to break the cycle. They don't know how to get free. They don't know that this is not how adults act, because God knows what they ran from. Okay. So we have to keep all of that in mind when it comes to our children. But but our children are vulnerable, and people are preying on them each and every day. People are out there painting this glorious picture of adulthood and how all this is. Just come out with me. Just come. I'm in love with you. I will take care of you. You don't have to worry about your mommy and daddy. Just leave everything behind and just come with me. Then the next thing you know, that person shows the girl attention for the first 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden, just that quickly, now she's got to do what he tells her to do. He needs her help. He needs some money. Can you do this one favor for him? Right? So that's how it all starts. So kudos to the state of Florida. And I pray that this work continues and way well past where it should be. So again, lots of work to still be had, but making steps in the right direction. So that's kind of where we are. So let's go ahead and move on to the next segment. And this one is something that we are very, very, very familiar with. This case has been gripping the nation for years, and I mean years, and that is the Gilgo Beach serial killer. That's the Rex Heuermann case, and many of us know about it. The Gilgo Beach murders have haunted Long Island for over a decade, and the accused killer, Rex Heuermann, remains the focal point of public frustration and horror. Heuermann, a New York architect, is charged with multiple murders linked to bodies found along the beach. But what's got people talking recently, believe it or not, even details like his height, reportedly over 6 feet tall, have sparked curiosity as it ties to witness descriptions. An article from Oxygen dives into the details, but it's just one piece of a much larger puzzle. Heuermann's case is still unfolding, with prosecutors building a mountain of evidence from DNA to digital forensics. The question on everybody's mind: will justice finally be served for the victims and their families? Well, we'll keep you updated as developments emerge. So I wanted to take you over here, and I want you guys to have an opportunity to read this article with me about Rex Heuermann. Again, this is a crazy case, folks. This is a crazy case, to say the least. And it seems like every time we turn around, something shocking or sparking comes about. I think we're up to number 7 on how many people he is charged with. We know that Asa Ellerup, his wife, as well as his daughter's hair were found on at least one victim. A belt that was directly tied to Rex Heuermann's property and him directly was found on one of the girls' necks. Those who have been following the case of the accused Gilgo Beach serial killer Rex Heuermann have been trying to learn all they can about the man arrested in connection with the heinous crimes. He's been charged with killing 7 women whose remains were found along a southern shoreline of Long Island, and has pled not guilty to all the charges. Since July 2023, the arrest of Heuermann, a family man and architect who lived in Massapequa Park, New York, true crime fans have been struck by the stature of the man, 61 years old, considering that several women authorities accused him of killing have been described as petite. Heuermann's height comes up several times in the intriguing Peacock documentary. Cannot forget about the Peacock documentary, which is the Gilgo Beach Killer, House of Secrets. And it is now streaming, folks. So if you guys had not had an opportunity to watch it, apparently it has since been released. The $1 million Peacock documentary with Asa Ellerup. Heuermann's height is mentioned by his now ex-wife, Asa Ellerup, who hasn't been charged with any crime in the 3-part documentary. Now in her 60s, Ellerup first met Heuermann when she was 18 and moved in with him in his Long Island home in November of 1995. Now remember, he had just married a woman 6 months and then started the divorce processes. Many people forget that detail. Was he having an affair on his wife? Did he already leave his wife? There are women in his past that survived, lots of them. So what made these women that he ultimately chose to take out? What was the defining factor? I don't know if we've ever learned that. He was a kind man you turn your head and you take a look at. He was tall, handsome, and debonairing young man, Ellerup said. I love tall, dark, and handsome. And at the time, I was madly in love with the man. There's no doubt about that. So she speaks about her love for this serial killer. And, they were, I don't know. They look pretty normal. But you know what? Look at Rex's face. Rex does not look demonic. He doesn't have that chiseled bone structure. It's like something took over him. It looks like his bones have literally changed in his face. This looks nothing like the man that we see. She is short. But as a short woman, I'm pretty short too. And who's calling us short? Who was that? Elisa B. Always. Do you know half of our family here on the Bullhorn Betty channel is shorter than me? I met him. For the first time in Bullhorn Betty's experience, she felt really tall. I did. I love our fans. You guys make me feel. If I had my heels on, I would have really been towering over the club. How tall is the UPS guy? I don't know. Are you talking about the one on TikTok or the UPS guy? He's pretty tall, but he's slender. But this guy here, look at his face. Look at his bone structure. His bone structure, in my opinion, looks completely different than it does today. Look at that. Hold on, let me get over here. Look at his bone structure. I don't know if he has that bone structure. Your bones don't change. Let me find Rex Heuermann's photo today. Hold on. Let's do a comparison. I don't know. He looks like a different person altogether to me. I'm sorry, he just does. To me, he does. Let me get a good frontal face. There's a good frontal face right there. Let's put this up. Hold on. Let me find the photo. There it is. I don't know. I seriously don't know. I feel like his bone structure has almost changed. That looks like a normal guy. That guy right there doesn't look like he could harm a stinking fly. This guy right here doesn't seem like he could harm a fly. However, you go to the polar opposite. That guy looks demonic. I don't know. I'm just telling you guys how I feel. So the Gilgo Beach murders have haunted this area for decades, okay? When we first started learning about this, it was in 2010. So we're almost up to the second decade, a full 2 decades that this case has been going on. And why it took so long to get solved is simple. Because we had a corrupt commissioner. And a corrupt commissioner was trying... The corrupt commissioner... Hold on a second. I think it might just be somebody working on something. The corrupt commissioner kept the FBI at bay. I thought it might be the repair guy knocking on the door, but it's not. It's just probably working out back, and Delilah's going crazy. So next we're going to be heading to South Carolina. As many of you guys know, we followed the case of Alec Murdaugh for quite some time. And I just lost my audio on this one, but I don't need audio on this one, so that's fine, but I'll have to reset it up. Actually, let me go ahead and do that now. There we go. I was hoping. I know what we're going to do about Delilah. She's gonna go crazy over this week here, man. All right, I might have to speed up our live if Delilah if Delilah won't cooperate. But anyways, guys, we're gonna be moving over to South Carolina for a case with a surprising connection. So there is another murder case going on, Michael Colucci murder case, and apparently has ties to Alex Murdaugh, which is pretty interesting because there's been a lot in the news about Alec Murdaugh possibly getting a second retrial or a retrial on his murder conviction, depending on how the courts take this. So South Carolina has seen its share of high-profile cases, and the Michael Colucci murder case is no exception. Give me a second. Sorry, I needed to calm her down. She was a little distracting. So, anyways, so this new case is no exception. Colucci is accused of killing his wife, Sarah Lynn Colucci, in 2015. But what's raising eyebrows is the involvement of the South Carolina, the SLED, and its ties to another infamous case, Alec Murdaugh. So the Post and the Courier reported that SLED's investigation into Colucci case overlaps with the Murdaugh saga, raising questions about influence, corruption, and justice in the Low Country. Was Sarah's death a tragic accident, as Colucci claims, or something far more sinister? This case is a tangled web, and we're watching closely as it unravels. So very, very interesting. Is there more corruption? Is this going to be another like Alec Murdaugh case 2.0? Staying in South Carolina, let's talk about the political moves it could could impact crime policy. So we will be following up on this, and I'm kind of interested in this Colucci case. And how is this guy? It must be some type of appeals, because this guy would not be here 10 years later going to court. It just doesn't make sense. But they're saying that the bulk of the investigation was happening in 2021 when all this happened with Alec Murdaugh. That to me just seems a little weird. I don't know. But this next case is really, really bizarre because it's one that happened in Colorado. And I was reading it last night, and the brazenness of this kidnapper is one that we don't see very often. So a young girl was in a store shopping with her grandmother, and this guy basically approached her, put his hands on the child's shoulders, and said, "Hey, I need to borrow your kid," and starts walking the child out of the store. And so the child broke away and went back to the grandmother. There was a whole big, it was at like a Speedway or some type of grocery store in Colorado. And so she got the attention of the associates at this grocery store, and the guy left. He left the scene. But check this out. The guy came back and tried to abduct the same child a second time. So now he's in jail. The child is okay. The grandmother, as you can imagine, probably completely, utterly freaked out at this moment. I can't imagine the trauma of that child. And but it is a good case. It didn't stop this from happening, but we have to be ultra aware of what's going on around us and who's around us. This guy was not only in a grocery store in broad daylight. There's cameras around. He tried to abduct this child.
The store employees ran him off, and he was brazen enough to come back and attempt it again with the same blessed child. Not a different one. The same one. Crazy. Crazy. And this guys, he almost looks like Daniel Martell. I'm sorry, but he almost has Daniel Martell vibes in part. But I'll let you be the judge of that. I'll let you be the judge of that. So I don't usually, we're going to go into a little more in depth on the Travis Decker manhunt on our Bullhorn Betty crime story show later today, where we'll give a thorough update and talk about the sheriff's latest comments. I'm still not convinced he's on the run. I'm still not convinced he's not lying deceased somewhere out in the woods. I'm not convinced yet. We still we're now entered into the 4th week, and we're already almost halfway through the 4th week, and we still in a month have not had any direct ties to Decker. And we have to look at some information that was provided to us, and I have to incorporate that into the story now, because we were put on notice by Sheriff Morrison that there are sympathizers. Okay. So it sounds like there are some people that are sympathizing with Travis Decker and trying to leave him some supplies that he might need while he's on the run. Why is this important? Is because we were all kind of taken back to learn that there could be sympathizers out there, that there could be somebody trying to help Travis Decker. But Travis Decker, for them to make those statements, they would have had to have found something that was left for Travis Decker. And then it brings me back to a lone person not equipped for the elements out there running through the woods. Could this have been the sympathizer placing some supplies out there? And the reason why he was running from the helicopters is because he didn't want to be caught putting, supplies out there in the woods. I'm still not convinced that there are some sympathizers. Yes, the Sheriff Morrison, I did a video on it on TikTok. Sheriff Morrison actually said that he believes there are sympathizers and that this man has unalived 3 children. There is nothing to sympathize about. He's dangerous, and he's unalived children, innocent children. And we cannot agree with the sheriff more. He has unalived these children. It's just that I don't believe, I keep trying to think, is Whitney in denial? But I have watched that woman. That woman is a smart lady, okay? It to me seems like she's very in tune with what's going on in her family. And I've watched some pretty strong strength be shown by that lady. And I can't imagine that she's this far off base, that she is this much of denial. Okay. I see a very strong woman that's hurting. Yes. But I also watched a very strong and hurting woman give a very impassioned statement about her beautiful girls. And when I saw her talk and how she crafted her words to talk about her children at their memorial, I knew right then she's not this out of touch woman. And I've had to make the decision because, again, this is my show, my opinions, right? You guys come here to learn about the news and, more importantly, the opinions that I have based upon the facts of these cases. And I've been bouncing around for quite a long time. Is she this heartbroken woman that is just in massive denial, or is what she describing truly who Travis Decker is as a man? And then we had to compare it to the stark difference that the sheriff has implied Travis Decker to be. And so I've been kind of grappling with that for a little while. Is he on the run? Is he not on the run? Because based on the sheriff's description of this man, he is on the run. And based upon the description of Whitney, he most likely is not on the run. So that kind of brings us full circle. And I have to make a decision. Who do I believe? Who would have more knowledge about Travis than anybody else? And we're here all the time talking about how law enforcement, Jason comes to mind, the boy that was hanging out of the tree, in Virginia. That's a good prime example. He needed help. And they didn't want to search for him because they believed he was a fugitive of law and that he would just, pop up somewhere. He got help from somebody, and they left him out there in the woods to freeze to death. And that's what happened. He froze to death in a tree and fell out and got caught in the tree, frozen. And had law enforcement continued the search, they would have found him. So law enforcement they have to take their education, they have to take their experience, and we have to remember their experience is hardened criminals. And I think that their expertise is hardened criminals in the way criminals think. I think they're stellar at that. But there are people that do terrible things that aren't hardened criminals and don't think like hardened criminals. And I think that sometimes law enforcement is still on that mindset and doesn't adjust for the case. And I think that might be the situation in the Travis Decker case, because I truly believe the man is deceased. Now, again, I've always left the door open pending new information. For example, if they did, in fact, find something that tied him to him with DNA. And every time the sheriff, recently has talked about it, he's talked about the delays in DNA. So they have none of that. 4 weeks, not one result back on anything they collected. It makes me feel some type of way, because it doesn't need to be this way. And yes, we know that there's a lot of murderers in Washington that is waiting for DNA, but I don't know of any of them that murdered 3 little children and is on the run and actively being pursued by federal partners. That seems like that would jump the line a little bit on the urgency, right? The other people are deceased. They may already have the assailant or already know who the assailant is, and that assailant is not on the run, putting other people in jeopardy or at risk. And we need to look at the severity of this and the priority of this, and this does take top priority. And that's the way it needs to be handled from our federal partners, as a top priority type of situation. We should not be waiting for a month to find out if we're on the right track of a person on the run. If that's how they do policing, well, we're in trouble in this country. Don't you think? So we need some results, and we need some results stat when it comes to Travis Decker. All right, guys, I am going to skip over the rest of the stuff that I do have on here, because we even have some Brian Koberger stuff that I'm just going to have to go get past so we can get started on our show. I had a very aggressive, but I forgot I had things going on that was going to be delaying me this morning. So many of you guys know we've been discussing the case of Lilly and Jack Sullivan. They're 2 siblings that disappeared from their trailer off of Gairloch Road in Lansdowne Station, Nova Scotia, Canada. And since then, they have not been heard from or seen at all. Now, there have been a lot of stuff that's now being leaked to the public by family, because it's been a significant amount of time and nobody's heard from the children, and they all believe the children are deceased. And now that they are kind of all on the path of they believe the children are deceased, they're looking at how could these children be deceased. Now, I believe those children wandered in the woods. If they got there as early as they got there, they said they were there on scene very, very quickly. We know that they were on scene around 10:44. So I no longer believe that that law enforcement was called at 10 a.m., even though media is picking up that time, because that's what Malehya and Daniel have told them. But I would like some more confirmation, or if you guys know of the confirmation from law enforcement that the call was in fact received around 10 a.m., it's pretty hard to say that they were on the scene very quickly at 10:44. That's 44 minutes. I'd hardly consider that quickly. Now, if the call came in at, between 6:20, 6:25, excuse me, 10:20, 10:25, and they were on the scene at 10:44, then that would definitely be a lot better. But it does concern me about this 911 call that we do not know exactly when it came in. We're hearing possibilities of times, but nothing concrete, and I think that's important. I don't know how that would go into the integrity of the investigation, because the people that called in law enforcement would know exactly what time they called it in. I don't see where that's confidential information, and I think law enforcement should, if they haven't already, they should be able to release that information without jeopardizing the case. So definitely want to discuss that. And I think I jumped over. I did. We'll have to go back to Sebastian. I had Sebastian before Lilly and Jack, but I jumped to Lilly and Jack's case, so I apologize about that. These siblings vanished under mysterious circumstances, period. And the search for them has sparked intense debate, hope, even shocking allegations. So we're going to be diving into the latest on these talking points. And the background, as you guys know, this case is capturing widespread attention across the globe, and people demanding that they want to know what happened to these children. We're also hearing from Belinda Gray that there's some more emails, text messages that were recently dropped, and I don't like them. They don't make sense. It seems like Malehya is making excuses. She's telling Belinda Gray that she left, and Daniel this, and Daniel's acting suspicious, and Daniel won't stay out of the spotlight after law enforcement told him not to talk to media, and she had to get away, and we know that this is all horseshit. Okay, sorry, but it is. It's horseshit. At the end of the day, this mother left and never returned back to the scene. There's no excuse for any type of situation like that. If she didn't want to talk to media, she could put her hands up and say, please do not talk to me. I'm searching for my children, and leave it just as cut and dry as that. She chose to run away. She chose to run away to her mother. She chose to run away from her mother's to another location. We have mixed information whether or not Meadow is with her or with the state. We don't know. We have no idea, but we know the Department of Children and Family Services have been involved prior to these children disappearing, and we know that they're involved now, especially with Meadow. Meadow needs to be taken away from Malehya, period, until the situation is resolved and we find out who had a hand in the disappearance of Lilly and Jack. Nobody in that family should have that child. They have a right to tamper with a witness. That child should be in a protective custody. So I don't know what's going on with Canada, but we have processes here in the United States of America that work. Take that child away and find out who squeals first. Somebody wants that child. Somebody's going to break their silence. Take that child away. Leverage. Meadow is leverage. And whether you guys like me saying that or not, oh well, it is the truth. Okay? We're here to try to solve a case. I'm not here for family counseling. We are here because there are two children that have been missing for a significant amount of time, and those two children's name is Lilly, which is 6 years old, and Jack, that's 4 years old. And to know that a mother ran off the day after they were reported missing and has never showed up again, and appears, and from everything I see, appears to be on the flip and run. All right? She's house bouncing from mommy's house to God knows whose house she's at now. Is she seeing another man? Doesn't she have better priorities? What is she doing? If you are in this area and you see Malehya out, record her. If you are on public property, I don't know what the laws are in Canada, but I'm pretty sure you can record people from public property. But if you can't, do not do it. Do whatever you can do lawfully. But I'd like to know where she's at. What part of the province is she in? We need eyes on her. Does she have Meadow? Does she not have Meadow? Right? There are lawful legal ways to handle this situation, and we need eyeballs. So maybe Uncle, instead of telling us that these children were loaded up in a car without one scintilla of evidence, maybe he can tell us whether Meadows with her, the mother, or not, or what the heck is going on with that child. Because right now, my only concern is that child, because that child is breathing, and I want to make sure that child continues to breathe. So that is my biggest concern in that case. These text messages are very concerning. She's saying she's not watching social media. I call bullshit, because if she wasn't watching social media, why in the world did she change her relationship status and cleanse her flippin' channel? Seems pretty strategic to me. Sounds pretty strategic to me. And this was just dropped a day ago. I'll do this tomorrow. This is from the Mob Crew. It's about a 10-minute video. So I want to make sure that, people go over to the Mob Crew to watch it. We will be talking about it tomorrow. So let me drop the link here for you guys to watch. This will be discussed tomorrow. So please watch it. Go over there, because I'm going to be pulling it from the Mob Crew. And this is the only way I feel that's fair. You guys go over there, watch it before we talk about it, so you'll have an understanding of what we watch it, that everybody's going over there and giving him credit, because I'm going to steal his content tomorrow. Okay? Lovingly, I'm stealing his content tomorrow, okay? Under fair use, of course. But I still like the Mob Crew, and want to make sure everybody knows that we will be covering that tomorrow. So please get over there, watch the video before we cover it. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it with that. Now we're going to go over Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers' case. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, he was 15 when he disappeared from his home off of Stafford Court in Hendersonville, Tennessee. He was residing in the home that evening with only his mother. His stepfather was out of town, 3 hours away. I'm not going to say 3.5 hours away, because I know damn good and well you can get there in 3 hours or less. So he was about 3 hours away from home, and the next morning, Sebastian was allegedly gone. I don't believe anything that either parent has stated. The problem I have in this case is the law enforcement handling this case. They poo-pooed all over this case. They went and ran away and put their tail between their legs like cowards. Like cowards. Definitely not like a law enforcement body that I would ever hire. So hopefully the people of Hendersonville and Sumner County fire their sheriff, fire their leadership, get better leadership. What you guys got in there is a breeding corruption machine. And if you want that breeding corruption machine to end, you need to hire new blood for that and break up that good old boy system you got going on there. But that's the only way that that's going to work. And I can't do it for you. The people out there in Sumner County have to do it for themselves. But I can tell you, I go all over this country. I am a political activist and advocate. I know politics, and I know corruption when I see it. And I know when I see a good old boy system. Okay? And you see what Betty does to good old boy system. They can kiss my white breaded ass. Okay? I don't like the corruption. I don't like the haves and have-nots, and I will level the playing field wherever I go. Believe that. And that's coming from a place of strength, not arrogance. So that's the biggest problem. And I've been talking about how broke this county is. We've heard the struggles of Seth being able to get flyers, about how he has to basically wait for flyers for his son from Sumner County. They're too broke to even give him flyers for his missing child. It is my understanding that they may have stopped supplying him altogether. So now we're going to have to raise flyer money because Sumner County is too much of a joke and too broke to do their damn job. They have no support for family of crime. They are garbage. Sheriff Snuggles Struggles needs to be fired. I can tell you, I've seen the good in a lot of law enforcement across this country and able to balance national media, a high-profile case, and the needs of the investigation as well as the needs of the public. Good sheriffs And good leaders do that well. Poor leaders do that poorly. We have poor leaders here. You know why? Because look at the job. It's poorly done. The only way we get poorly done work is from incompetent, unskilled, inexperienced personnel. And why do we have that? Usually it's because it's cheap labor from our sheriff's office because they have tiny little budgets and small little minds. So the sheriff is basically getting the bulk of the check, not his people. Okay? Now, if he can reduce, because he's a piece of shit anyways, if he can reduce his income, reduce his payment to the county and take half of his paycheck and put it toward training, we might have better policing in the county. But we don't, because we have a good old boys system that keep the good old boys in charge, whether the system's working or not, right? So it's time to break that good old boys system up, and I hope you guys start working on that in 2026. The first thing I would do is the one commissioner that came up for Sebastian. I can't remember his name. Nice, tall guy. Nice. He's on the county commission. I think he's on the county commission. He might be on the city side. He might be on the city side, but I think he's on the county, and I think he's the county commissioner for that district. And I would keep him. Why would I keep him? Because despite the people in his community that told him to sit down and shut up, he still stood up and spoke up. That shows leadership. That shows leadership. And we want people with leadership. So that right there shows me integrity from that guy. I don't know what side of the political aisles he's on, if he's on the right or left. But what I can tell you is I'd keep that guy. I'd keep that guy. Right? Your judges, vote them off the bench. Every last one of them. They don't stand on their own, and they pressure one judge to another. I saw it myself because I went from one judge's courtroom to another, and I could tell you that black judge, she didn't want to do this, but she had no choice in the system she was in, and I knew that. And I knew that. So fire them all. If she can't stand up and have a backbone of her own, she doesn't deserve to be in that position. All of them. It's time to rebuild Sumner County from the ground up. And you know what? It's a little hard. But you go through a couple cycles, it gets better. But they've got to go. They've got to go. So, my call to action this morning is I'd like to hear some people call Sheriff Snuggle Struggle's office and ask him what we can do as a community to help them budget paper so that we can make sure that there are plenty of flyers to go around to make sure people still know they haven't done their job yet to bring a child home while they sit in the back with their mouths closed and their tails between their legs, right? So maybe we need to be making phone calls to them and asking them how can't they afford paper? Why are they so broke they can't afford paper, and we should trust them to handle Delilah? Knock it off. Come here. Come here, honey. Come, honey. Come on. Come on. Nobody's breaking in the house, Delilah. Come on. Nobody's breaking it. Okay, come on. I know. It's rough. We got a stranger out back. I know. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We don't have burglars. I promise you we don't have burglars. And Mommy is acutely aware that we have a stranger walking around the house. So we just now need to don't pull these out of my ears. All right. So I think it's time that we start asking the sheriff some questions again. We need the people from Henderson and Sumner County to start reaching out to me, and we need to group you guys together and get you up there to demand answers from the sheriff. What in the world is going on, and what in the hell is he thinking? We want to make sure that Seth Rogers has at least 1,000 more flyers, courtesy of Sumner County, because they can't do their damn job and close a case. Simple case. Remember, it's just a boy that ran away. Should be easy enough. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's what they've been telling us. No foul play. No foul play is suspected, right? No, that's not what they say. They have no evidence of foul play is what they say. They don't say it's not suspected. But where's the flyers? Where's the flyers, Sumner County? Is this the reason why that Sebastian's not getting any attention from you guys anymore? Because you're too freaking broke to give him some attention? Is this why we've had no ground searches? Because you're too broke? Man, people must be really pissed off in Sumner County to find out their sheriff's office is freaking broke. I'd be scared if I was in Sumner County and I had a broke sheriff. That's sad. Maybe we need to be calling up there and asking where their damn money is. Maybe they need an audit. Maybe somebody ain't doing what they're supposed to be doing and money isn't going where it needs to be going. Where's the advocates in Sumner County demanding answers? You guys are broke. Why? You guys are paying your taxes there. Why is your county so broke? You got a lot of big, heavy hitters there, too, that are paying a hell of a lot more taxes than you are. Why is that county so broke? Who's not paying their fair share? Who's not paying their fair share? It's time for you guys to take action. Time for you to take action. We apply pressure wherever we need to apply pressure. And right now, we need to go for the money. And we need to go for the nuggets, too. And we need to put clamps on them and start squeezing. I'm just saying. That's the only way things are going to get done in Sumner County. Knock, knock. Sheriff Snuggle Struggles. Remember me? The sweet little old lady with the camera? Remember, you guys can bypass the people that abuse children and beat them and then they disappear. But hey, the easy target over there with the camera in her own vehicle that didn't break the law, let's go arrest her. Instead of our friends that like to beat a child to death. Maybe that, allegedly in my opinion. Way to go, Sheriff. Way to go. We're still watching you, buddy. We're still watching you, buddy. I'll be seeing you soon, Sheriff Craddock. I'll be seeing you soon because I think after we're done with the governor's mansion, I think we'll be bringing the crew knocking on your door next. I mean, since we have 100 to 200 people that are going to be out there only an hour away, I can't imagine letting the fun stop there, right? Right? So, we might have 2 events that we will be planning at the same time. We want to make sure Sumner County hears us loud and clear, too. And this will be about Sebastian. And only Sebastian. All right, guys, rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe and, more importantly, kind to one another. But I want to say this because this was brought into my hearing when it came to Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. I said, and I will maintain, there's not a damn thing a judge or a sheriff will ever be able to do with me in any of my advocacy because I follow the damn law and I do it with skill and precision. And this is a calling card for the next county that wants to shut me up for hashtags. We will be there. We're doing it because Sebastian deserves to be found. He deserves a fair shake. And I'm sick of corrupt politicians and the good old boys club attaboying a man, Christopher Proudfoot, that did horrible things to a disabled child. Don't worry, I'll be back in your town since you can't seem to arrest criminals. The only non-criminal that you guys keep arresting will be there with a lot of cameras. I'd like a redo. God bless.
From the East Coast to the West Coast,
I forgot one thing. I didn't check over here. And I meant to get back to one other person. This is what I wanted to go through. Leslie says, Uncle could be charged with aiding and abetting or an accessory after or to a crime if he does not, if he doesn't turn out to be the main suspect. He apparently knows a lot. So that is an important takeaway to all of this. That is very, very important because I do believe that this guy is running interference. I don't know who he is, but he gives me like a PI vibe. And I truly believe he's being hired by either Malehya's attorney or he's just a creepy friend or family of Daniel's, again, just running interference, changing the message, changing it from this foul play scenario to, oh, it's Malehya, she loaded him in the car, it's a custody issue. Again, it's not a flippin' custody issue. Nobody was fighting her for custody for Lilly and Jack. I want to be very clear on this because I'm sick and tired of hearing it. Cody was not in these children's lives. Okay? She was the ultimate decider of what in the world happened to Lilly and Jack. The only child that she doesn't have full charge over would be Meadow. So in that scenario, Meadow would be the one missing, not these two children. It doesn't make sense, and I'm sick and tired of hearing it. Okay? I don't know who this uncle is, but he's full of shit. How do I know? Because the story doesn't make sense. 2 + 2 = 4, not 1. And his story is equaling a 1, close to a 0, because he ain't the hero. All right, guys, now we're out. God bless each and every one of you. Rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe. But more importantly, kind to one another, unless they are a parent that has done terrible things. Then I say, just be nasty.
From the East Coast to the West Coast, we are everywhere true crime is. We are asking for the public's help. We are searching in the woods. We are doing what it takes here on the Bullhorn Betty channels to find answers to the most alarming cases we have been watching on the news. I can tell you personally that I have traveled this entire country seeking these answers and bringing that content right here to you here on the Bullhorn Betty channels and Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories. We are happy with the work that we've done. We brought many answers to the public, and we have defied mainstream media in our pursuit of the truth in these cases. We will continue to work, we will continue to fight for these victims, and we will continue to tell their stories here on my channels. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty brand of channels and the Coffee Club. Thank you for your love, thank you for your support, and more importantly, thank you for allowing me to bring these victims' stories to each and every one of you, advocating for each of these victims. God bless you. God bless America, and more importantly, God bless our victims.